Good evening. Welcome to the September 17, 2024 voting meeting of the Exeter Township School Board. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Fike, could you take roll call, please?
Jason Mell,
Present.
Julia Schaefer,
Here.
Deborah Bloom,
Here.
Dr. Andrea Battler,
Here.
John Fidler,
Here.
Dr. Ann Herring, Timothy Morgan, Travis Odom,
Here.
Allison Wilson,
Here.
7 present, 2 absent.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fike. In addition to the 7 board members in attendance this evening, we're also joined at the board table by our solicitor, Sharon Montaigne, and members of the school district administration, including Dr. Christy Haller, superintendent, Mrs. Dawn Harris, assistant superintendent, Dr. Josh Hoyt, director of teaching and learning, Mrs. Diane Skornavaki, director of human resources, and Mr. Brian Fike, who serves as our business administrator and board secretary. There are no amendments to tonight's agenda, so we'll move on to superintendent's report with Dr. Haller.
Thank you, Mr. Mel. Welcome to the Lorraine staff that's here with us this evening. It's nice to see so many of you out here. I'd like to take this moment and thank the high school staff, in particular Mr. Vecchio, for all the work that was done last week to commemorate the 9/11 ceremony at the high school. The high school has been recognizing 9/11 for at least the last 10 to 15 years. We believe that it is a very important thing that we do here in Exeter to recognize our first responders and all the lives that were lost that day in the tragic terrorist attacks of 9/11. The Exeter Police Force, Exeter PD, the fire department, the EMTs, they were all there with us. We were able to recognize one of our own from Exeter PD, and we are just so grateful to have all of them here with us in Exeter. We also had Senator Schwank come and speak to all of our students, and she gave an amazing speech, again, recognizing all of our first responders, everything that people do to protect us, to maintain our freedom here in the United States, so all of us can go to bed at night and rest a little bit easier. So again, thank you to Mr. Vecchio for putting that together, to the band, to Mrs. Lake's class who helped to organize some of that and assist. It was a wonderful recognition of a lot of people who put their lives on the line for us each and every day. So again, thank you. I also like to remind everyone that homecoming is coming up at the beginning of October. We have the bonfire that will be taking place. That's always a fun event for our families. It's nice to see the community out together. And then, of course, the following day, we have our homecoming game. And so I'm going to wish Mr. Bauer good luck. He's here with us in the audience. We've had a great start to the season thus far, so thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Haller. No one has signed up for public comment on agenda items unless someone would like to come up and speak. Okay. Next is board meeting minutes. If there are no objections, we'll adopt a motion to approve meeting minutes from the August 6, 2024 special voting meeting, the August 6, 2024 committee of the whole meeting, and the August 20th, 2024 board voting meeting.
I
Okay.
have no objections, but there was an error. I believe it was on the second one. I don't have it with me. The word legislator should be legislature. It was page 2 of one of the minutes, so maybe that can be corrected.
Okay. So other than that, we can make that correction. Any other objections? Okay. Hearing no others, the minutes are approved, pending the changes. Treasurer's report and payment requests. If there are no objections, we'll adopt a motion to approve the August 2024 Treasurer's report and payment requests dated August 21st, 2024 to September 17th, 2024. And hearing no objections, the treasurer's report and payment requests are approved. Moving on to committees, education with Dr. Battler.
Thank you, Mr. Mill. First for public content is the enrollment report. Does anybody have any questions or comments? No? Moving on, it's reported that the field trips below within the 60-mile radius have been approved. Just pointing out that 5 through 16 have been added since the committee of the whole meeting. Looks like our band and a lot of the, let me see. I saw a lot of band going places, which was great. Okay, moving on. It is recommended that the Exeter Township School District Board of Directors enter into an agreement with Immaculata University to host graduate programs at the administration building. This agreement is at no cost to the district.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the following education committee items. The following field trips beyond a 60-mile radius, A through C.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the following education committee items. The following list of staff conferences, including the ones that were added since the committee of the whole meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question. On the expensive one, I think there are 9 people going. Optimizing MTSS implementation. What is MTSS and what's important about it?
It's a multi-tiered system of support for students to provide interventions. You can look at interventions from a behavioral standpoint or an academic standpoint. This is specifically geared more to academics at the secondary level. We have had an MTSS process more so geared to our elementary students, not so much towards our secondary students. And at this time, with the cohorts of students moving through our K-12 system, many of our secondary students are the ones who have been now most impacted by COVID, and there are gaps in their instruction. So when we saw that there was this opportunity to be part of this leadership series, because they host one every year, and we haven't been in one for a number of years, we felt as though this was, given the topic and where we are with academics and how we want to support our students, we felt that it would be good to hear from an expert who has implemented this to see how best to provide support and make sure that we are developing our MTSS framework appropriately to give our students the best opportunity to close that achievement gap.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the following education committee items. The early graduation requests for January 2025 for the following students. It looks like 4 were added per District Policy 217.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve the purchase of a 4-year extension of the current senior high school math. The textbook purchase is accounted for with the remaining ESSER funds and is listed below.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve the attached Title I letter of agreement between Exeter Township School District and the Berks County Intermediate Unit. Upon agreement to this contract, the Berks County Intermediate Unit will provide Title I equitable services to the identified non-public schools listed in the agreement for the 2024-25 school year.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
Okay. It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve the contract with the BCIU to provide professional development for ESL teachers as detailed in the contract at a cost of $900 to be paid with Title III funds.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
I'm going to combine 7, 8, and 9. It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approve a tutoring contract between Vicki Jones, Alexia Stamidi, as well as Victoria Pinkard in the Exeter Township School District for services for students for the 24-25 and 25-26 school years at different costs. These are renewal contracts.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, sorry, can I add number 10 into that? And then can you second it again?
Yeah, I mean.
I do apologize.
That's okay. Unless anybody objects, I would be fine with just adding the rest.
Them all?
Yes.
Okay, fabulous, yes.
Okay, so just to clarify, we are putting items 7
7
through
through
12.
12.
And,
Yes.
we're voting on the rest of the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
And that's the end of the,
Okay, thank
Education
you,
Committee.
Dr. Battler. Personnel with Mrs. Wilson.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves or ratifies the following personnel items, 1 through 9, noticing that anything in bold has been added since our committee of the whole meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. And I think that's everything for your committee
That is
then,
everything,
Mrs. Wilson?
yes.
Okay, great. Mrs. Bloom, would you mind taking Finance and Audit Committee, please?
At all. It is recommended that the Exeter Township School Board approve the 2024 proposal from Conrad Siegel for health and welfare benefits consulting services. The proposal is attached.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay,
And I believe that was it for me.
yep, thank you, Mrs. Bloom. And Mr. Fiddler, did you have anything for facilities and transportation?
I do not. There
Okay.
was an item there, but it disappeared, so
Yes.
Guess I did
It might have been
something
on, I think that might have been on the special voting meeting from, is that the one you're talking about?
no, there was something on this, the COW from last time. It was transportation,
That was on
or was it on the voting? Okay, my apologies.
Okay. Policy Committee, Mrs. Harris, would you be able to take that?
Sure thing. We have policy 140, hold on, let me just click on my agenda. 146.1 and 304.1 for first reading, as well as policy 218. Policy 304.1 was the nepotism policy, and I wanted to just make note that we made those two tweaks that the board recommended to that policy. There was one place where the language said teacher instead of all staff, so we changed that to all staff. And there was just a little bit of confusion around whether or not it was talking about staff who were already employed versus those who were being recommended for employment. So we changed the language to be those being recommended for employment. And that's it.
Do I need to make a motion?
Yeah, so we'll need a second for the,
Yeah,
It should
recommended,
be, yeah,
it's
Yeah.
recommended the
Board
Board of School Directors approves the following policies for first reading. Policy 146.1, Policy 218, and Policy 304.1.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Moving on to athletics and extracurricular activities. Mr. Odom, did you want to try giving that report over the phone, or would you like Dr. Battler to do that? Okay.
Not a problem. So fall sports are off to a great start. A lot of great teams fielded this fall. Senior nights have already started and playoffs are right around the corner. We'll have more detailed updates for the October meeting. Please continue to support all fall sports and extracurricular activities. And as Dr. Haller pointed out, next week is homecoming week, right? Or is it 2 weeks? Oh, jeez.
First week in October.
Okay, sorry. Getting my dates mixed up. So get prepared.
Okay, thank you very much. Exeter Community Education Foundation with Mrs. Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Mel. ECEF would like to welcome John Dever III to our ECF board. John has been a valued member of our marketing committee for the past year, and we are excited to continue working with him. In addition to ECEF, he is a dedicated youth soccer coach in Exeter, and he and his wife Haley have 3 children in the district. Welcome, John. We're excited to announce the addition of an adaptive music playground piece of equipment at Jackson Wald. Many thanks to Greg Lombardo with Sotosani Lawn Care for donating his time to build and install this addition to the special needs kindergarten playground. This purchase was made possible by a grant received from AXA XL. The Phase 6 bricks of our Legacy Bricks fundraiser with the Exeter High School Eagles Alumni Association have been installed thanks to Mr. T.A. Laura. Thank you to everyone who purchased a brick, and many, many thanks to TA for continuing to support this project. As a thank you, a brick was purchased to recognize his 40 years of service, and we love reading the many comments and shares of admiration for TA on social media. Phase 7 will open in the next week or two for anyone interested in purchasing a brick. Thank you to our Eagles Nest sponsors who are proudly advertised on the fence on the hill at Don Thomas Stadium. Signs will hang until May, when they will be taken down and displayed at our 4th Food Truck Festival on May 16, 2025. There are still opportunities for families wishing to purchase a sign to support their favorite student athlete. Please reach out with interest or questions. Last, we are so excited to announce that tickets for our 2nd annual Casino Night Gala fundraiser are on sale. This year's event will take place on Friday, November 8th at the new Redner's Event Center at First Energy Stadium. More information, including how to purchase, can be found on our website at www.exetereducationfoundation.org. Thank you, that is all.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Schaefer. Berks Career and Technology Center, JOC, and Berks County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors, Mr. Fiddler.
Thank you, Mr. Mel. The year at BCTC has started off with a bang. We have a record number of students enrolled, the highest level ever, just under 2,100 students, and they're very proud of that, and I'm very proud of that. Next meeting for the BCTC Joint Operating Committee is Wednesday of next week, and the next meeting for the BCIU Board is Thursday of this week. And that's the end of my report.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Hearing did not have anything for the Legislative PSBA liaison, so I'm going to pass through that. Township Borough Liaison, I do have just a minor report that I can give in Mr. Morgan's absence. There was the first kickoff meeting for the joint comprehensive plan between St. Lawrence Borough and Amity, Douglas, and Exeter Townships that took place it was September 5th, I want to say. It was a couple Thursdays ago. Essentially that will be those municipalities and also school district representatives will be meeting every month to discuss the joint comprehensive plan and working through that. So likely there will always be at least one person from the school district attending to at least represent the district in those talks. Next up is public comments for non-agenda items. We do not have anyone signed up for that either, unless somebody would like to come up and speak. Okay. Dr. Haller would love to speak, so I'm going to toss it over to her.
So we'd just like to recognize Mackenzie Ricketts. She's here with us this evening. She is a new hire for us at the junior high for social studies. So we just like to welcome Mackenzie to the Exeter team. So congratulations.
And then I did have one item, Mr. Mel. I wanted to make everyone aware that this past weekend, one of our board members, Mrs. Allison Wilson, was honored with an award from the Wyomissing Area Education Foundation at their Fire and Ice event that they held over in Wyomissing. She was honored as one of their outstanding educators. For those of you who don't know, Mrs. Wilson teaches over in the Wyomissing School District. So I wanted to say congratulations to Mrs. Wilson, but I also thought it was just a really nice reminder of how appreciative we are of the board's time with us, because we know that you actually have careers and lives outside of here as well. So congratulations.
Okay, would any board members like to be heard at this time? All right, our next meeting will be our Committee of the Whole meeting on Tuesday, October 1st at 6 p.m. The board will be meeting in executive session immediately following the adjournment of this meeting to discuss the potential purchase of property for athletics, active litigation, security of school facilities, as well as updates on personnel. If there are no objections, we'll adjourn